Hey everyone! I'm here today with Miss Amanda and Sarah.
Hi.
Amanda is the founder of a local nonprofit called Hope's Bridge.
Hope's Bridge.
Yes. And Sarah is on the board. So I'm going to let them tell you all about it, what it is, how it came about, and just sort of a backstory and anything else you want to share.
I guess we'll start with the backstory because that's always the good one.
Yeah.
Should I look at you or should I look at the camera?
You can look up, down, wherever.
Okay. All right. So Hope's Bridge was founded. The idea came around about a year ago based off of our situation. We had a little boy and a little girl that we brought into our home through an IPA placement, which is an immediate protection agreement placement. What we did is we kind of came in before they were placed into the foster system.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it came about. But we were in the process of adoption, like a private adoption.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we got the call, it was from a friend of ours who was a nurse, and she said, hey, there's a baby here who can't go home, and would you guys be interested in taking this? So between us and the bio parents, we signed an agreement that allowed us to bring them home and figure out if the bio parents were going to walk the road to reunification or adoption, and ended up we got to adopt them.
So you were working with a private agency or?
No.
She was originally.
I was originally,
Okay.
but because we had our home study through the private agency, because we had that home study, DCS allowed us to kind of walk with them, and they guided the whole thing. But
So if the nurse hadn't called, it would have never happened.
it would have never happened, right? So
Okay.
so basically, our children were non-custodial, which means they were not custody of the state. So their primary goal, it's almost like a kinship placement. So we're the alternative to a kinship placement, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Do you know what a kinship placement
Start
is?
from the beginning. Like say a kid there's a call for a kid for abuse or neglect. Somebody will call DCS, and then
what is DCS? Just
the
for people who don't
Department
know?
of Children's
Services.
Okay.
Yes. And so then they do not want to place these children in foster care. They will call grandmother, grandfather, aunts, uncles, and they'll say
friends of family.
friends of family, anyone in your church, please, can you please find someone? And a lot of these people, these families don't have anyone they could call
Mhm.
Yeah.
that can either financially take care of these kids. They can't pass the drug test. Their
Or
home is not
background check.
set up for another child. And so then they will enter the foster care system.
Yes.
But what we want to do is exactly what Amanda and her husband did. Actually, her husband's in the corner over there.
Yeah.
He's hiding.
What they did was, basically kept the kids out of the foster care system.
Yeah.
So they basically go from their home to
To us.
a
or
permanent
family.
home, or
Yeah, so what we have is what we call bridge families. So our bridge families, they have the heart of permanency. So basically, when when they get the phone call about that child, they just kind of intervene before that child is placed into state's custody. So they go from bio parents to bridge family, like immediately. There's no in between, and they just stay with them until either reunification or adoption happens.
and what is reunification?
When they
Like going back to the
yeah,
home,
reunification is going back to the birth parents. So if they walk their what's called a permanency plan, and they take all the steps that DCS requires them to take, then the children are reunited with their birth parents.
So let's say that a child was taken from their home and to, what do you call it, a bridge family?
Yeah,
Okay.
the bridge family.
And then let's say they got placed back with their bio family and DCS got called again. Would they go back to the same bridge family?
That's our hopes.
Okay.
So that's up to the bridge family
That's
if they
Hope's
want to
Bridge.
make that. Yeah, yeah. We hope that the bridge family will take them back. And our families are pretty good about saying yes to that. So, yeah.
And then once they're with the bridge family, do they stay with them indefinitely if they don't go back?
Yeah, so our bridge family will have that option to adopt at the
Okay.
end when they're given full custody. So what happens after full custody is given in court by the judge to our bridge family. They get an attorney and they do what's called a TPR, which is a termination of parental rights, and then they adopt just after. Every county is different because I know like one county you can do it all in one fell swoop, but some counties require you to do both. So.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't, really, they don't have to adopt. They could keep them in their custody forever. But we
Mhm.
prefer they would adopt just for permanency.
Yeah, because if they keep them as a full custody situation, then later down the road, a family member or mom and dad can get their own attorney and fight to get the children back. Which every situation has its own pros and cons.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something and I totally forgot. So, do you have any good jokes?
Not right now. My husband might.
This is what I was gonna ask. So, okay, people who want to be bridge families, like, are they able to sign up and kind of go through like a background check? Like, can anybody sign up to do this?
So our bridge families, when they come to us, so we have to keep in mind we are a Christian organization. So our families that do come to us sign a statement of faith, a statement of marriage, do the application process. We hold on, I'm so drawing a blank here. Hold on 1 second. I'm going backwards because like what I was supposed to say is you go to our website at www.hopesbridgetn.com and our application is on that, and then they just submit it to us. But they also have to have a home study, whether that's through DCS, whether that's through a third party like a private adoption agencies. A lot of them will do private home studies. So all of our families that come to us have to have a home study prior to coming to us.
And what does that involve?
A lot. No.
I mean, is it like you go into their home and like?
We don't do it.
Third party. Okay, a third party home study. What they do is they basically do all the background checks, fingerprinting. They go over your whole financial records. They go they go through your home, make sure that you're qualified for like 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, however many you say that you would like to have. They just want to make sure there's enough room for that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically when they come to us, we basically have their entire like history and current status of everything already in a packet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Do you find, because I'm not completely like familiar with the way the foster system works, but I feel like sometimes siblings get separated.
A lot.
So with what you're doing, are you trying to keep them together if they go to a bridge family?
We're trying to, but that's not always able to help. It just depends on the family and how many they're willing to take. I mean, it happens all the time in the foster system. We just had a call recently for 3 kids, and we found a family who was willing to take 2, but the mom didn't, want to separate certain siblings, and our family wanted to take the 2 older ones and not the baby because they couldn't at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but mom didn't want the older one and the baby separated, and so it was like really this weird like rearranging, like, can we find a family for this amount of kids and this kid, or can we find a family for all of them? Even in the foster system, they have to deal with this all the time.
I will say a good thing about us is sometimes if they're in the foster care system, maybe the foster families are not willing to work with each other to keep, so if the siblings are separated into different homes, some of them are not willing to facilitate visits, phone calls to siblings together, and they never, they don't see their siblings. And a lot of them are great about that.
But in the foster system, because see, I've never been a foster family, so I don't know this completely. But in that case, don't they have to keep the privacy of the family separate? Because my kids had other kids in the foster system prior to us getting them, and we weren't able to even know who the family was who took the kid.
Right. So I think I feel like it's up to the discretion of the state probably, and maybe if they have a meeting with the parent, they will have family visits.
Yeah.
In the foster care system with mom, and then all the siblings together. Yeah. But if we would encourage our families, bridge families, to have a communication with the siblings.
Yeah. So if let's say we have 3 siblings and we have one family who will take 2 and we have one family who will take 1, we would facilitate visits for the siblings.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
At least so they can have the visits together.
Yeah.
And we feel like that's very important.
It's so important.
Because they've already lost their parents. And then to lose their siblings as well is devastating.
Yeah.
So, with your kids, you have completed the adoption process?
Yeah. July 19th we got
wow.
We had them for 2 years. before we got to.
Were you the first family that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Yeah. So our son, we got, and he was 5 days old,
Oh my
and we got his 12.5-month-old sister also. So it's our, they're 2 and 3 now.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy ages.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm here in Alert right now. They're nuts. They're fun though.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media?
Sarah.
So we have a Facebook page. Hope's Bridge, Middle Tennessee. Is that the official name? Yes.
Yeah.
And then it should be pretty easy to find. And then on Instagram is at Hope's Bridge.
TN?
No.
No,
At
just
Hope's Bridge. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of Hope's Bridges out there in America, and
Well,
why
I'll
we're
link
like-
it all too, but
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Yes, we would love more followers. We would love. That's the way to get the word out there. Is
Yeah.
sharing and liking, and another thing we want to do, as well as our mission with Hope's Bridge, to get these children in the home. We want to normalize orphan care, foster care. We want to just plant the seeds in everyone's hearts that they can all do. You can all do something. You don't have to take the kid into your home. You can provide meals. You can provide diapers. You could go to Target, buy clothes,
Send gift cards.
gift cards,
Gift
babysit.
cards.
I mean, there's so many opportunities, and we were trying to normalize that it is
Yeah.
a real need. It is not made up. It is a real need, and that's another mission of us as well, is to just get everyone. It doesn't even have to be Hope's Bridge.